You don't see the world as it is. You see the world as you are. Most of your pain doesn't come from reality itself. It comes from the way you interpret reality. And the truth is, most of us are walking around with distorted thinking. Thoughts that look and feel real but are nothing more than illusions. If you ever felt like you are not good enough, if you have ever convinced yourself that everyone secretly dislikes you, if you have ever thought that life is unfair and nothing will change, it wasn't the truth talking, okay? It was your distorted thoughts. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 15 most common types of distorted thinking, and as I describe them, you will probably recognize yourself in some of them. Maybe in many of them. But don't worry, this is not about judgment, this is about awareness. Because when you recognize distorted thinking, you can break it. And once you break it, you take back your power. First one, filtering. You take one negativity detail and you filter out everything else. Like you had a great day, but one person made a comment and suddenly the whole day feels ruined. You don't remember the smile, the laughter, the small wins. You only remember the sting. That's filtering, and the problem is it convinces you your life is worse than it actually is. If you always focus on the negative, you will always feel like you are drowning, even if you are surrounded by good things. The truth is, life is never all bad and it's never all good. It's a mix. The way you choose to filter determines whether you suffer or grow. Second, polarization. This is black and white thinking, okay? Everything is either perfect or a complete failure. You are either loved or hated, successful or worthless. The truth, life happens in the gray. Nobody is perfect, nobody is a total failure, but if you keep living in extremes, you will constantly feel like you are not enough. So stop expecting perfection and start embracing progress. Third, overgeneralization. Sometimes bad happens once and you decide it's going to happen forever. One breakup and suddenly you believe all relationships end badly. One rejection and now you say, oh, I'll never succeed. Do you see how dangerous that is? Like you take one event and turn it into a lifetime sentence? The reality is one moment doesn't define your future. It's just a moment. You get to decide what comes next. Fourth, mind reading. You assume you know what others are thinking. Like they didn't text you back, they must be angry. They looked away in conversation, oh, they must dislike you. But the truth is you don't know. You can't read mind. Maybe they were tired, maybe they were distracted, maybe they were thinking about themselves, not you. Most people are too busy with their own lives to judge yours. So stop creating stories in your head that don't exist. 5. Catastrophizing. You imagine the worst case scenario every time. If they are late, it must mean they got into an accident. If you make a mistake, it must mean your whole life is over. This isn't preparing you. This is destroying you before anything even happens. The truth is, you have survived 100% of your worst days so far. You are stronger than you think. So stop living in disasters that only exist in your imagination. 6. Personalization. You believe everything is about you. Your friend is quiet, you think it's because of something you did. Someone doesn't smile, you think it's because they dislike you. The world doesn't revolve around you, and that's actually freeing. Not everything people do is a reflection of your worth. Sometimes it has nothing to do with you at all. 7. Control fallacies. Either you think you have no control at all, you are just a victim of fate, or you believe you are responsible for everyone's happiness. Both are lies. Like, you are not powerless, but you are not in control of everyone else either. Your real power is in what you choose right now, not in controlling the universe, not in controlling others, just in controlling yourself. 8. Fallacy of fairness. You believe life should be fair. You believe people should think like you, act like you, and agree with you. But fair is just a concept we created in our heads. Like, everyone's idea of fair is different. And if you keep expecting life to always be fair, you will always end up disappointed. Instead of asking, why isn't life fair? Ask, what can I do with what I've been given? 9. Blaming. You either blame others for all your problems or you blame yourself for everything that goes wrong. Like, blame is a trap, because while you are busy blaming, you are not busy changing. You don't need someone to blame, you need responsibility, and that's different. Responsibility says, maybe it's not my fault, but it's my responsibility to rise above it. 10. Shoulds. You live by rules of how life should be, how I should be married by now, I should be more successful, they should treat me this way. But all these shoulds do is chain you to invisible standards you never agreed to. They are not laws of the universe, they are just beliefs someone taught you. Stop living by shoulds and start living by truth. 11. Emotional reasoning. If I feel it, it must be true. You feel unloved, so you believe nobody loves you. You feel like a failure, so you decide you must be one. But feelings are not facts. Feelings are signals, and sometimes they are lying to you. Just because you feel worthless doesn't mean you are. Stop treating temporary emotions as eternal truths. 12. Fallacy of change. You believe if other people would just change, you would finally be happy. So you push, you pressure, you wait, but the truth is you can't control other people. And the harder you try, the more you destroy your relationships. Your happiness has never depended on someone else's behavior. It depends on you. 13. Global labeling. You make one mistake and suddenly you are a loser. Someone hurts you once and suddenly all people are selfish. Labels are prisons. When you label yourself, you shrink your identity. When you label others, you shut yourself off from connection. You are not just one thing, and neither is anyone else. 14. Being right. You always need to prove yourself right. You can't stand being wrong. You treat every conversation like a battle. But what if being wrong is the only way you grow? What if admitting you don't know everything is how you actually become wiser? You don't need to win arguments. You need to win peace. 15. Heaven's reward fallacy. You believe life is keeping score. That because you have suffered, sacrificed, and done the right thing, you will automatically be rewarded. But life doesn't work like that. There's no scoreboard, like waiting for a reward only makes you bitter. Do good because it feels right, because it aligns with who you are, not because you are waiting for someone to hand you a prize. Do you see it now? Your suffering doesn't always come from reality. It comes from your thoughts about reality. And when you recognize distorted thinking, you take back your power because you realize thoughts are not facts. You don't have to believe everything you think. So the next time your mind tells you a story, pause, ask yourself, is this really true or is this just a distortion? Because the moment you choose truth over distortion, you start living free. And this was the message of today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And that's it. I see you in the next video. Bye.